Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I'm talking about watches. Well, today is another first impressions of a San Martin watch, the SN002-G. Now, this is a fairly strong homage of a SIN watch, and I've been quite enjoying the look of these SIN watches lately. I've been thinking about buying one, and when I saw that San Martin does a homage to these watches, I thought this is almost a no-brainer. This is a watch that I know is going to be pretty good quality coming from San Martin, and I thought, wow, it is significantly cheaper, obviously, than the watches that it is homaging. This one costing around about 260 Australian dollars on AliExpress. So I thought, I have to buy this one, I have to get it in, I have to enjoy this watch and then share it with you guys. Now, it's a slightly smaller watch. It's a 38mm. It is a sort of military style sort of pilot watch, and it is just a lovely, lovely looking watch. If you are interested in it after seeing this in first impressions, I will leave one of those affiliate links down below. And if you are enjoying my content or enjoying this video in particular, I'd love it if you just click on that subscribe button. But let's flip the camera around now and let's check out this San Martin watch. So here we have the San Martin SN002-G, and it's the first San Martin that I've bought with the new packaging, and I have to admit I quite like it. I have to say though, the packaging is a little bit smaller than I expected. If you look at the size of my hand, I do have a rather big hand, but it's actually a little bit more sort of form-fitting, or a little bit smaller anyway. Looks like a case back, looks like a bezel. It's quite nice. And something I've just learned, that you can't put it back in here if you've resized the bracelet, because the little foam thing that it sits on, there's very little give, and I was trying to squish it back in there for the video, but it just won't do it. Inside I've got the few spare links to the watch, and inside here, if we pull this out, we have a few bits and pieces. We've got the warranty card, we've got some information, and what else we got down here? Spring bar removal tool, a little screwdriver, and that little hang tag thing. But this is what we're here to see today, isn't it? It is the black dial variant featuring the YN55 movement. So what are my first impressions? What has stood out to me straight away? Well, I have to say it's a very lovely size. It's also all fully brushed, which I'm not sure if I was expecting that. I think it's actually quite nice. I ordered this one because it sort of reminded me obviously of the watch that is homaging, but I also like the idea of a slightly more simple, sort of put together, simple presented watch from San Martin. As I've always said, if you're buying watches from AliExpress, if you keep it simple, you're going to end up with a better watch for your money. And that's what I think this watch might be. Very simple dial, very simple layout, has a really cool onion crown there, which is nice. All brushed, has that nice, that engineered style bracelet, which is very, very cool. I do really like this clasp, really nice. Only 2 bits of micro adjust though, unfortunately. It does fit me well, but that's a little bit unfortunate. It would be nice if they extended that clasp out a tiny bit, but it does look good. Again, San Martin using multiple logos on their watches. This one, I don't think it makes much of a difference because it's fairly simple, and I think that script does suit this sort of simple dial. But yeah, very, very nice. 38mm watch, so it's slightly smaller, sort of medium-sized watches. Lovely, lovely size. And so far, I'm not having any issues with that YN55 movement. I am quite interested to see what that movement sort of is like, how it represents itself, and what it ends up on the time grapher later on when I do the full review of this watch. It has a sterile case back, so it is very much keeping it simple, this one here. And I guess for 260 Australian dollars, I think we might have some good value, especially when you're comparing it against the watch that is homaging, because the SIN 556A, which the watch is obviously homaging, is 1,800 Australian dollars. So I'm quite interested to know, after quite some time of wearing this, how much I actually do enjoy it, because so far, in this very short amount of time, I am enjoying it. One thing has stood out to me, however, as a slight negative, it's just the way that these solid end links fit into the case. You can see that's just not a perfect fit, and there's a little bit of a sharp feeling. Not too bad, just a tiny bit of a sharp feeling. How's it looking on wrist? It's looking fantastic. What a good looking watch. Again, keeping it simple. I think that is the motto for AliExpress. The more simple the watch, the better quality you'll get and the more you'll get for your money. Especially when you're going for a brand like San Martin, which is known to do good watches. If you keep it simple with a watch brand from AliExpress that does good watches, sounds like a good combination to me. And what a lovely fit. And I really do like how that clasp sits on wrist, or under wrist anyway. Absolutely fantastic. And I do really like that new packaging. I think that's quite cool. It is obviously just going to go into my drawer where I keep all my boxes, but still it's nice to have something a little bit different. Also, I think having that little sort of section there with a little bit of a pad under there compared to their old style. The old style was fine, but the watch had an ability to move around a little bit in the packaging, whereas this, it's really locked into place and it's going to be sort of looked after. However, as I mentioned, after I removed the links, there's absolutely no way I could get it back onto that foam piece. So don't expect to be reusing this if you've resized it to make it a smaller watch. This is purely just for transport of the watch, which is a slight disappointment, but it makes no difference to me because, yeah, the watch is going to go into my watch box and that's going to go into my drawer. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Just a first impressions today. Oh, I will note, the loom seems quite good on this. I won't show it in the first impressions. I'll do that much better in the full review, but yeah, it looks really cool. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I do hope to see you in the next video, and keep your eyes out. In about a month or so, 4 to 6 weeks is the normal sort of time I like to have it on wrist before I do the full in-depth review of the watch. See you again soon.